Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Occasionally Relevant Gaming Show. I'm your host, Phil D.
And I'm Scott G.
And we're going to talk a little bit about VR and some other things.
Dun, 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 dun. I don't know if that was the actual theme music for the Iron Man VR, but that's what all of the Marvel music sounds like to me.
It's just... man. Yeah, the least memorable fucking themes.
Yeah.
You know, for such a cinematic universe, can anybody hum me a single, you know?
It's really weird
no,
because
you think
when
of Back in Black.
Yeah. Well, it's like when I do watch the movies,
Yeah.
you know, I'm and I hear those, you know, chords happening, I'm like, oh yeah, this is this one, and and it makes sense in the moment, but then when I try to remember it after,
Gone.
It's gone.
It's gone.
So,
you
but
know,
anyway,
and this Iron Man VR game sounds like a Marvel game,
it really does,
and it looks pretty
with
good.
like, you know, faux Tony Stark and faux
Phony Stark.
Phony Stark
With fucking Phony Stark here.
and
Yeah.
Pepper Knots.
Pepper Knots. Man, it sucks you didn't actually get to see Pepper because she's pretty hot.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I mean,
Well, I
although
saw
she
her
does-
out of the corner of my eye.
Oh, okay, because
you
she
know.
has the death stare kind of thing.
Oh,
but
really?
other than her having like the weird, it's just that uncanny valley face look thing that only some games can make okay.
Yeah.
But most of them.
This one, no go.
Pepper's got a.
It's a little unfortunate.
Yeah. You're like, man, robot face. Okay. but she is thick, though.
Nice.
No, but yeah, Phony Stark gets on my nerves. I mean, so let's dive into this. You know, you being
not as well versed in VR as
less VR-ly.
Yeah.
You know. How did you feel?
I'm this VR lexic.
Yeah, nice. What did you think about, you know, flying around as Iron Man?
I thought it was fun
Yeah.
in the moments that like I wasn't running into fucking walls or bouncing off of the fucking ocean.
So do you think it's hard to grasp?
I don't think so. I feel like I grasped it pretty
Yeah.
well. It's just like getting, I guess at this point, getting used to it. Because here's the thing: is like all I did was go through the tutorial.
Yeah. The Malibu house sequence.
And I can imagine that once you know, like, and two, you know, getting it calibrated correctly.
Yeah.
You know, me not playing a lot of VR. I mean, I imagine there are little tricks and stuff that you just pick up inherently from playing VR a lot, you know, which I don't have. But, you know, that said, I didn't do bad.
No, you didn't do bad.
I picked up on what it wanted me to do.
The cues.
Yeah, pretty quickly.
And I think that this game does a fairly decent job of showing you what it's trying to make happen. You know,
it is very linear. It doesn't really let you off the rails.
No, and I'm not sure that the game ever really does. I don't know how, because I haven't beaten it yet. You know, I've only gotten so far.
Right.
So I don't want to judge it as an entirety. But I played the demo. I've played this. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know, what do you think about the way it looks?
The scenery is beautiful. You know, because at least during the tutorial, it's like right outside Tony Stark's like house.
Yep.
So it's like oceanfront, whatever, and it's like either early in the morning or late afternoon or whatever.
It's
so
Michael
like
Bay time.
Yeah, it's Michael Bay time. And no, like the scenery looks really good. And like, you know, of course, like you can see your hands, and it's you know, the Iron Man hands, and those seem to be okay. Yeah.
Do you have any criticisms about it?
About the way it looks?
About anything that you can think of immediately? Is there anything that you're just like, I don't like this?
I don't like how there's not a landing.
Oh, okay. So I'm not sure, but I have a feeling that you're able to not land, but you're able to do like a ground pound thing later.
Huh. Okay.
But I've heard that the ground game is kind of weak, or when you get down there, there's not much to do, that they didn't. You know, I'm not sure. I haven't tried that.
I
part
got
out
you.
yet.
Yeah, but no, I was just saying is like there would be times where I'm just like, okay, let me just chill.
How
over
far
here.
down did you look?
Like as far as like actually looking down.
Yeah.
I mean,
You saw your chest and stuff.
Saw my
right?
chest and stuff. Yeah.
You don't have legs though.
Oh. So it's just the top half of Tony Stark. It's just Tony Stark's top half. That's why I kept bouncing off of surfaces.
I mean, he's obviously a top, but
Yeah.
that's not a.
That's not
Right.
a. Yeah.
No, he. This is one of the things that me and Trey were talking about that we dislike about this this particular idea of Iron Man is Iron Man doesn't just have jets on his fucking hands.
Yeah.
Iron Man's got jets on his feet. Iron Man's got a little jet on his back.
Yeah. He's
You know
got
what I
him
mean?
in his elbows.
Does he have elbow jets
He
too?
has elbow jets.
This
dude.
man's got elbow jets. Okay. See, he's a more articulated than I thought. Then does he have knee jets too?
I think he has knee jets.
Boy,
too, you know?
boy.
Or at the very least, that ball at the end of your feet.
Yeah. But
Maybe ankle jets.
yeah, but he's got more than just
Iron
the
Man's
ones in his
mostly
hands.
jets.
He's mostly jets. I
Yeah.
guess you're right, and jets that turn into guns.
right.
So his what he doesn't have, and this is what doesn't make a whole lot of sense, is just an idle floating animation.
See, and I think that's what I really would have liked.
Yeah, why do you not just have a regular idle float?
No, I'm just gonna idle float real quick.
That's what Tony Stark does, man. He moves to a spot, and his feet hold him in that spot.
I think what it wants you to do is put your hands out, but then you end up having to use one hand to fire
And one hand to
and one
fly,
hand to try to balance yourself on.
and it doesn't
and
feel
it feels
great.
very awkward, especially with like you were saying, this is kind of almost a rail shooter.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
kinda.
courses and arcadey and
And with a float function,
Yeah.
like it would make the combat, I think, a little bit more fun.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
far as like actually shooting and punching shit, you just you fly over to where you
Mhm.
want to be, position yourself in the air. Now you got enemies all around you. You hit the float button, and then you just kind of double hand it. Like it would be I think a more fun and less frustrating gameplay experience.
So you might like the next mission, the first big mission, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is where you are on a plane. You're on the Stark's plane, and then with Pepper, and you get attacked by some. I forget what the name of the villain is, but you get you go outside the plane and meet your armor in midair, because that's awesome.
Oh,
and,
that's cool.
Yeah. and then so you're flying around, and that map feels a little bit less folly,
I guess.
but
yeah.
I guess that might just be because you don't perceive the ground or the water in the case of the Malibu thing. you know?
I
So,
feel you. Yeah.
that might be that whole thing. But yeah,
And it's always like you're skipping a stone anytime
Yeah.
you hit the water. like
oh man, yeah. Mhm. That was cool.
you're skipping Iron Man
that
in this
you,
game.
you made the splash when you did it too. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
So that's fun. Yeah, I like it so far. I don't love it. I don't know that it's like a $40 big budget game. It doesn't feel like a $40 big budget game. You know what I
feel
mean?
you.
It doesn't feel like the Marvel AAA experience that
Yeah.
we want. It feels like, and the story stuff feels weighty.
I get it.
you
Yeah.
you didn't have to sit through that. For real.
No. For the most part, all I got was terrible banter.
Yeah, but no, man. It's weighty. Yeah,
I gotcha.
and it's like teleportation movement inside his thing, and it's basically like pick up the object and let them talk to you about it, and it's stuff that you can't skip. And if they're gonna throw you an arcadey experience, then let you get on with the arcade. That's really what I'm
saying.
saying.
Did they Kojima it?
Well, yeah, but poorly.
Poorly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right.
It's poor.
They gave you 45-minute cutscenes,
Yeah.
but you don't want to watch them, essentially.
And another issue with the game is it has pretty atrocious loading times.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did notice that when it was trying to load up the game in general.
Yeah, bad loading
Yeah.
times, man. So
I could hear the Jeopardy music in my head. Yeah.
But the game's good overall, you know.
Yeah.
So beyond that, man, the game that I'm in love with, though, which you got to play,
that I got to play.
Crisis Brigade.
That's really fun.
Yeah,
Because it's essentially VR Time Crisis.
Yeah.
But
So,
you don't have the foot trigger for duck.
No, you have to duck.
You have to duck. Dude, you have to get so tight.
I mean, you were laying on the
On-
ground.
For the most part,
Mhm.
yeah. Like your cover is like your saving grace, dude.
Mhm.
Because
Mhm.
what you can only really get hit like maybe twice, maybe 3 times. And then you're,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a
Normally,
life.
you have three hit points, and then you die.
Right.
I've played it on the hell mode a couple of times, so I have a shit ton of money.
That was
Uh,
really funny the way you select the hell mode. So the
Yeah.
way you select or pretty much say, okay, yes, I'm ready to start the game, is this little target man, you know,
Like you'd see in a shooting range.
like yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, and you just shoot that,
Mhm.
and when it's hell mode, it's a skull that's on fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, that's fucking perfect.
And hell
Yeah.
mode gets you a shit ton of points, so you can go in there and just kind of amp yourself up all the way, and then balls to the wall, hit it, and go for broke and get your
Yeah.
retries and do all that, and that's pretty fun.
Yeah.
But it's pretty hard, so it will whip your ass and eat
I
up
mean,
your
I was
retries.
playing on baby mode, and it
Yeah.
was whipping my ass.
It's
you
yeah,
know?
yeah. I don't know that it's the weird thing is, man. I'm not sure that like there's more enemies or anything in hell mode.
I
I
gotcha.
think they just have a little bit better aim.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So and they're probably a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't know that there's that much of a difference.
As far as like enemy count.
Yeah, they'll just track your head quicker in hell
Oh,
mode, which
I gotcha.
sucks.
Which would.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you like poke your head out even just the littlest bit, they fucking
They
get
shoot you in the face.
Yep.
Yep. They just
Yeah.
shoot you in the face. So, did you like playing with a two-handed weapon more than playing with the
Not
handgun?
really.
No.
Not really. Not with that one. Because like I said, okay, so with two-handed weapons, you kind of like. I mean, guys, you played VR.
Yeah.
You know better than I do. You have to hold it like.
Yeah.
You know, and like with the pistol when I was playing it the first time, I felt like, you know, because you're still holding it with both hands, but the hands are together, so it's more. I feel like I get more forced feedback, physical feedback with
because both of them are
with a
shaking.
handgun.
I didn't think about that. Cool. Yeah.
So and when I was using the rifle this time, I didn't
Okay.
feel like I had any kind of physical feedback, and so that was just something that I'm sure if I played more VR, I'd get used to it.
Yeah.
You know.
So,
But yeah.
would you have preferred using like the laser sight with just a handgun? You
Yeah,
think that would've-
possibly. I think that would
Okay.
be yeah.
Okay.
I think that would ultimately.
You should
be
try
better.
that sometime.
Yeah. We'll try it. We'll get back to you.
And because you were talking to me about that as soon as you played Crisis Brigade, as far as the holding, because you're holding
the gun. Yeah.
a separated thing
Right.
as
yeah.
an approximate for a rifle.
Yeah,
you know?
and you're also, you're having to get because you're trying to aim it around angles a
Yeah.
lot of the time.
Yeah.
That way you're
Uh-huh.
not getting out of cover too much, and
Yeah, trying to blind fire is rough.
Yeah.
And I
there's no Hail Marys in this game.
Yeah, yeah, and
you
I'm
will miss
I'm used to
everything.
I'm used to dealing with the little cumbersome nature of it.
Yeah.
But not being used to it, I'm sure you're like, oh fuck, I can't understand where the angle of this is,
Right,
without
exactly.
really looking at it, because
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
because you're not getting the physical feedback of holding a rifle.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's just all it is visual.
Mhm. And because of that, I was like, oh, well, why don't you play Farpoint
Absolutely.
and
yeah.
use the aim controller on the PSVR?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So I definitely liked that a lot better.
Yeah.
The aim controller does have some weight to it,
Yeah.
so I can't
Mhm.
imagine playing that game for very long with that before just being like, I'm
Mhm.
tired. I can't. Arms are noodles right now.
Yeah. Which, man, having the shoulder rest helped that, but again, when I had the shoulder rest, it was a little heavy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I was really getting at.
Uh-huh.
It's like I understand adding weight, but I do think having some kind of shoulder rest would help, especially in games where you're primarily using rifles.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know.
Totally.
But I liked the aiming was a little bit easier. I mean, obviously, it wasn't like Crisis where you're trying to get cover. You were really
No.
more. It was really more of a basic first-person shooter.
Yeah, run and gun kind of.
Right, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's what is it? Starship Troopers, the VR.
Yeah, kind
Starship
of.
Troopers
Totally.
VR.
Yeah, fighting big ass bugs,
That's
man. I'm
right.
telling you.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Trey play
Dude,
this
those
shit co-op
bugs are
pretty
fucking
regularly.
Scary as shit.
Yeah, the spiders jumping right in your face, man. And one thing I particularly love about Farpoint is the muzzle flash.
Yeah.
So, you know, when they're jumping in your face and you're shooting at them, then you see the light from your weapon flashing off of this spider that's coming directly at your face.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's great.
Yeah. Great's the word I would use.
Yeah. Terrifying.
You know, when
Yeah.
spiders come at your face
Yeah.
and you set them on fire. That's great.
You were screaming at those spiders.
Dude.
Yeah.
Dude, especially
funny.
that big one, because I
Yeah.
couldn't figure out how he was hitting me until I realized that he was like, you know,
Burrowing.
yeah,
the
well-
spitting the stuff.
well, spitting the
Yeah.
stuff and that burrowing shit, because it won't stop burrowing until you stop.
It
Like,
gets right up to you.
It will
Yeah.
fucking just follow you.
So you kind of have to stop and wait for their pop-out animation and then start moving back again.
Yeah.
And then start blasting
and
them.
then start
Yeah.
blasting them.
But yeah, Farpoint, as far as PSVR games are concerned, like Farpoint and Firewall are two of the most amazing games for it, and both of them use the aim controller in a way that's, you know, pretty fucking outstanding.
Yeah.
You know?
And I can see where that aim controller would come in really handy for
Mhm.
something like that.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
And with the announcement of the PS5, you know, one of the things that they brought out, did you look at any of that, any of the PS5 reveal?
I've only seen like a handful of things,
Okay.
like just shit online that have kind of come up in my feed.
Specific games and stuff.
Yeah, specific games. You know, the way it's gonna look, the fact that there are two models, one's a full digital. Right now, the only thing that I seem to hear is like, for both the PS5 and the Xbox, whatever the fuck it is, like it's a bunch of people speculating about price right now.
Yeah,
that seems
nobody
to be the
knows.
Only, yeah, that
They're-
seems to
they're
be the
playing
only thing
chicken.
that I see recently. You know,
Microsoft
so
and Sony are playing chicken with each other, man.
exactly. So I haven't really given a fuck. Plus, I'm a Nintendo
Okay.
guy. So
Well, one of the things that they announced with it is a much better camera.
oh, okay, good.
So it's the same thing as the camera that they currently have, as far as it being a two lens camera,
I got you. Yeah.
two aperture camera, I guess.
So
you'd say.
basically, the same basic technology.
Stereoscopic kind of thing.
Yeah, same basic idea for the technology, just better.
Much
'Cause-
better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's the future.
Yep, much higher frame rate, much higher resolution, which higher frame rate, higher resolution to me means that since the PSVR headset
Mm-hmm.
and hardware will be compatible with the PS5,
Oh, okay.
that means we'll be getting better tracking on those devices, for the PS5. With
So
the
they're
camera.
not putting out a whole new like headset or like Move controllers for that. You can still use the same ones that you currently have for the PS5.
They have not announced any new PSVR hardware. So that doesn't mean that it won't happen. That doesn't even mean that we won't get new shit sooner than we think, because there are other events that are
Right.
probably going to happen before the PS5 comes out, right?
Right.
But at this moment, what's going on is because of basically mass backwards compatibility with PlayStation 4 overall, and a lot of games will be getting enhancements. VR titles are kind of getting the nudge to be like, hey, it'll be better in 6 months, a year from now.
Right,
Your game will run at a better frame rate or a
I
better
gotcha.
resolution, or
So just
you
go
can-
ahead and put the shit
something
in.
out,
Yeah.
and you can make a better version of it. Once you can patch it, you can do all this, and they
Yeah.
seem to be saying that. And it I've already seen on a couple of occasions, like Wipeout's one of them.
Yeah.
I don't know if you got a chance to actually play Wipeout in the headset.
I don't think I had.
It's so clean. It's
Oh,
one of
yeah.
the cleanest looking games on PSVR.
Nice.
And part of the reason is because it runs at a resolution that's higher than that headset, native.
Yeah.
Because it's basically a 1080p headset,
I
right?
gotcha.
I don't specifically remember what the specs are on that. It's a 1920 by 1080 panel that's split into two. So,
Right.
So whatever that ends up being, You do the math.
Mm-mm.
But the render resolution on something like Wipeout is 1440p 4K range. It's somewhere in that kind of range, and just rendering at a higher resolution and sending it to that headset, it looks clean as hell.
Yeah, dude.
So it's one of those things where, yes, having a newer headset like you're talking about is going to help.
Absolutely.
But immediately just having a more powerful rig behind the headset is going to bring out the full power of that headset.
Yeah, it's already going to be pretty much multi-maxing the
Yes.
headset. Pretty much, yeah.
And if it's one of those situations where we're also getting better tracking and new games are coming out that take advantage of it even better, and things along those lines, then fuck yes.
Hell
okay.
Yeah.
But also, if they just release some new Move controllers, I'd be real happy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I've never disliked the Move controllers, but
they do the job.
They do the job. The design is kind of old at this point. I think they would benefit a lot from, potentially redesigning them a little bit.
I mean, at this point, they got to be like 11 years old.
Yeah.
Something like that.
It's
something crazy.
Ancient.
It's fucking crazy.
God. But anyways, well, that sounds really fucking cool.
Yeah. I'm definitely looking forward to that. Also, so playing on the Oculus and then playing on the PSVR, like, how do you feel about the difference between the two of them? Because you just switch between them, and you don't play either of them on a regular basis.
I think overall the Oculus is a better machine.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's better designed. It feels a little bit better. As much as I don't like using the separated I guess Oculus controllers.
Yeah.
As much as I don't like
for a rifle,
I think for other games that I've played it with, I prefer that.
Okay.
I just think with shooters they would benefit from having something that's more like a rifle-esque, just so you get that physical feedback.
Yeah.
That's really the only problem that I have with any of those games. That said, the PlayStation VR is it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine, man.
Yeah.
I think I tried to go back and play Resident Evil 7.
Yeah.
Because I really like Resident Evil 7, and the walk speed is so slow that it makes me sick.
Oh, okay.
And that sucks.
Yeah.
Because I really want to play that game
See,
again.
and that's one thing that I've never had a problem with any time I've ever played VR. I've never gotten sick.
Yeah, you haven't.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Only a few things have actually made me sick. I usually have a pretty high fortitude for that, but man, Resident Evil 7, it's walk speed, man. If you crank up the walk speed, it's actually easier to deal with. But when you're going super fucking slow.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, man, it sucks.
That was something that was bothering me in what was it,
Farpoint?
Farpoint.
You felt like you're going too slow?
I felt like I was going too slow.
You can run if you click in the left stick.
Oh, okay.
But I mean,
whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Next time.
Time, I'll know. Yeah.
Man, what's also funny is my aim controller has a really squeaky trigger.
Oh yeah, it does.
Yeah, so when I'm playing with Trey, he's like, "Man, dude, fix that fucking trigger." All the time.
Nice.
But no, I feel like the next generation hardware is going to improve the tracking. I think we're going to get a whole round of better experiences just by that, even from the games that already exist. And if they do the smart move and make it where their next generation headset is higher resolution and has inside-out tracking as well as the camera-based tracking, then you'd get a best of both worlds. You'd have it to where your headset is also tracking where your controller is, along with an external sensor. It would be it would potentially be the best tracking there is,
right?
With the two things mixed together, right?
Yeah.
which I think you can only do on like the Vive Cosmos. I think that's the only one that you can do that with. Have external trackers and internal trackers from the same system. But still, if that's the route we're going down, then I see things just improving. And man, I love PCVR, but fuck, dude. Even the expensive ideas for what a PlayStation 5 would cost is cheaper than what the new video card's going to cost.
Yeah.
So I keep being like, man.
Yeah. I understand what you mean there.
So on the idea of next gen console stuff, do you think that Nintendo's going to make a move soon to try to do, like we were talking about, a Switch Pro or just a more powerful Switch? Do you think they'll actually generation jump, or do you think they're just going to make more powerful hardware that sticks within the same Switch culture? You know,
man, to tell you the truth, I really can't. Okay, so
are they going to become an iPad? You know,
yeah, I can't really speak to any of that, honestly, because I don't know what they're planning on doing. As far as I know, man, the Switch, just the base model, is still selling really well, and I don't see Nintendo trying. I obviously think that they're, you know, researching and developing potential new hardware, but I really don't know. I really don't think it's going to be a mid-generation like upgrade kind of thing, because I just don't see Nintendo doing that, or really even needing to do that.
That was my point with the iPad thing, is I don't know whether they need to do that ever again. I think that they would actually go off of a better business model if they just continued to make Switches.
I gotcha.
Throughout, you know what I mean? You just keep making them.
You just buy new controllers.
You just get
a new set of Joy-Cons and attach it to the Switch that you have. I don't know if I would like that.
Well, yeah. I just mean more powerful chips is really all I'm getting at. You know, here's the next version of
the Switch.
Yeah,
kind of like
more powerful hardware.
Kind of like they did with the DS. Like they kept upgrading it and upgrading it and adding more shit. Yeah, but it was essentially all a DS. Kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if they can kind of stick to that. That would make sense with the Switch, man.
That would make a lot more sense with the Switch.
The Switch is just an ecosystem, you know.
Yeah.
And they might even have to, because you have an older Switch, they might make the game a downscaled version of the same game. But it'll still all run off the same hardware.
Yeah.
Any of these games work off of this hardware moving forward. You know what I mean?
That would make sense. That maybe that is probably what they're doing, because I mean they have the Switch Lite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what if maybe it's not a Switch Pro? What if it's like a Switch?
Not HD or
I don't know.
Yeah.
Switch 2020. The Switch, some dumb shit.
Yeah, some dumb shit.
I don't know. What do you think, though? But do you think that they could go the route of Apple and succeed? Do you think that they could move into some kind of like a yearly, maybe not yearly, but like maybe bi-yearly upgrade of the same ecosystem? You're just getting more powerful hardware?
I think that would depend on the price. I think that really depends on the price.
That's partly what I mean as far as doing the Apple thing, because they do the stack and shift. So it's like they stack one on top of the pile and then they scrunch the pile down and the one at the bottom gets knocked off, right? So it's like okay, the device that was, you know, $300.
Right.
Is that how much a Switch is? $300?
Yeah, roughly.
Okay, so the device that's $300 is now $200.
I got you.
But the device that's $300 is the new one.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Gotcha. So it would roughly, I think you'd have to space that out more than every 2 years.
Sure,
to justify that.
I can agree with you on that. That was just more of like spitballing.
Right.
2 years probably is too little. Like let's say 3 or 4.
Dude, I would even go as far as like it would need to have to be like 5 or 6.
It would have to be significant upgrades, though.
It would have to be significant upgrades.
Yeah.
You know.
So you think Nintendo could serialize? They would just do it less frequently than like an Apple would.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Because I think them sticking to the Switch ecosystem and sticking to this model of how things work, like, what if you could just get the middle of your Switch replaced, and you still keep your Joy-Cons if you wanted to? Like, they had a trade-in system where you're like, oh, you got the old one, you sell it back to us, we can do this,
you
and
know,
this,
you get like $100 or $150 off or
something like that, or
I can go for that.
you
I could go for that, but that's and I think I personally would be happy with the model that's kind of like that, more than just having to shell out $300 for the best upgrade. If it's not going to play any different games, like if it's not a completely new thing,
But it's also past this generation, past this PS5, Xbox Series X, generation.
Whatever.
I see it being very difficult for consoles to not try to unify their platform in a way that's more like Steam. Like I was saying before, just as far as here's your back library. You don't have to rebuy stuff. Here's your shit.
Basically, we are seeing the first moves towards a fully physical media free, all digital.
Yeah,
like we're seeing the first moves to
all
something
digital,
like that.
Yeah, and an all digital catalog isn't so bad. It really isn't.
It's not so bad.
It's something I used to reject. It really was, and I've actually realized that for games, it's not really that big of a deal,
right?
Because the argument that I have for instance, CDs or Blu-rays, because I still buy CDs and Blu-rays, is a quality difference.
I got
You're getting a different quality with purchasing a Blu-ray or a CD. You're getting an uncompressed version of whatever the hell it is.
And with games, it really doesn't matter.
There's no difference. There's no difference at all. Except for because it used to be like, oh no, I want the book and I want the map and I want the what man? You don't get a map. I don't get a fucking map anymore.
Yeah, physical media kind of sucks now. Physical media was so much better. There was so much stuff. You got a book, and it told you the lore. All that shit's in game now.
Even if the book didn't tell you, like, the lore, just having a book that came with it that had something in it.
Yeah.
Jesus. Now the cases don't even bother to have anything printed inside of them at all unless it's a voucher for you to get. You know what fucking pisses me off? Let me go ahead and
go ahead.
Man, I bought Street Fighter 5.
Hold on, guys. Philip's got to put his mad pants on. Give him a second. He's got to strap the. He's got to put the chain and the padlock that he uses for a belt. He's got to latch that together.
It's a chainsaw chain. So the a couple years ago, Street Fighter V Arcade Edition came out, which was the one that had pretty much all the characters up to a certain point. I don't know what it's missing at this point, but it had. That was when like Blanca and stuff were coming out, I guess. Maybe that was right before, but whatever. But my point is that I bought that version and I got a used copy of it because I saw it on the shelf. I was like, cool, Arcade Edition, dope, used copy. Got the disc home, put it in, realized that the disc is just regular Street Fighter V that says Arcade Edition on it. And to have the Arcade Edition DLC, you had to have redeemed the piece of paper that came with it in the packaging, rather than it being on the disc as a fucking unlock.
And because it was used, you didn't get that paper.
Yeah, so I got a normal version of Street Fighter V. That kind of shit pisses me off nowadays.
Absolutely, yeah. That's no good.
Fuck, man. And at that point, that's why the digital game market kind of seems like a cool idea. Like, yeah, you can't resell your games and all.
Yeah.
But you get it. You get what you see that you're getting.
Well, I mean, ultimately, it's just like, don't buy used, man.
I know what you mean.
Buy digital.
Mm-hmm.
And
buying
then,
used is for buying old games, guys.
That's it.
If you're trying to buy something that's retro, or if it's something that's at least, let's say, PS3 360 and earlier, yeah, man.
And you still have those consoles. Yeah, absolutely.
Or emulators.
Yeah.
You know, because you can actually dump Blu-rays and play the PS3 emulators. That's what I was doing, playing. I mean, I have 2 copies of Demon's Souls.
Yeah.
You know, but I wanted to play Demon's Souls at a high res and high frame rate, so I was playing it on PC.
The way God intended.
That's right. That's right. Yep.
So speaking of Demon's Souls and From Software, there is there is a game that you wanted to talk about, and it doesn't have anything to do with Demon's Souls or From Software. So yeah, that's my segue.
That was a good segue.
It wasn't. It was a terrible segue, but as far as segues go,
It's real good.
that's cream of the crop.
Yeah. Well, I see where you're jumping off there because we watched that video of Sekiro and it's all
boy,
Japan.
we're jumping off,
and
man,
it's,
and we're falling.
That's right. Well, he's got a grappling hook, so you're good.
Okay, so we're good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Sekiro.
Robot arm, man.
I got
Well, because of Sekiro, you were thinking of Ghost of Tsushima, right?
Yes.
Which is, I've already pre-ordered it. It's, I don't really pre-order games. I don't care that much, but this is one that I immediately knew. Oh, this is for me.
Yeah.
This was no question at all. This is for me. I heard the developer. I mean, I like Sucker Punch.
Yeah.
I like their other things. I feel like just from the way the directors were talking about it, one of them was saying something basically along the lines of they were trying to make a Kurosawa film as a game.
Absolutely.
Well,
yeah.
Okay. Recently, it came out that the game's going to be kind of hard, and and it's going to be based on parrying mostly. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Signed up.
They've released gameplay footage for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like a 20-minute little gameplay thing, which I watched a decent amount of. I mean, I'm sold on it. I'm not too worried.
Yeah.
One thing that I think's amazing that they did, man, you can collect resources, like harvest resources, while you're on horseback. So
yes.
Yeah.
Because that's something that I fucking hated in open world games.
You have to get off your horse and you gotta.
I never had a horse in the. I've never ride a horse in those games.
Yeah. Ghost of Tsushima looks like it's going to be absolutely amazing. It's and again, it's like it's a lot like Last of Us 2 in that these are the games that are the PS4's swan song as far as this is the best that we can do on this console.
Yeah. Kind of like the way that the first Last of Us was for the previous generation kind of thing. Yeah.
And these games are going to carry over to next gen as well.
Good.
So, we'll get to see. I'll get to see what the PS5 version of Ghost of Tsushima looks like at this point because I bought this one.
Oh, cool.
So that's another thing that's cool about buying digital.
Yeah.
So you're right. The next console should be able to come out.
Yeah.
But if I'm buying games now, then why can't I play them later too?
Later, if they're going to be ported over anyway.
Yeah. And at this point, it shouldn't even be ports. It should just be it works.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit. Ports shouldn't exist anymore.
No more ports.
No more ports.
Hashtag no more ports, guys.
Yeah. Everything's a PC.
See how many top executives shit their pants.
Yeah. No more ports.
No more ports. What?
I can't do HD remasters of HD remasters.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, I am looking forward to the remake of Demon's Souls though, but no, man, I don't even know that much about Ghost of Tsushima. That was kind of my thing. Like I'm so excited about it because of the small amount of gameplay that I've seen. I already know that it's the kind of game that I'll like.
Yeah,
And if I'm wrong, I'll eat those words and I'll talk about it.
Right,
I really will, but. I'm rolling my dice on this one, and everything to me looks like it's a winner.
Absolutely.
I mean, shit, dude. I'm already because I'm not really a weeb, you know.
Yeah, I gotcha.
I'm definitely into anime, but I'm not Levi.
And you own a katana.
You know? And I do own a katana. You're right about that.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what I was getting at, though. Is I more appreciate like ancient Japan than I do.
Then just want to be Japanese.
Yeah, that's not really what it is.
Yeah.
No, but ancient Japan and feudal Japan and that whole thing and the you know, just samurai class and all that kind of stuff. That really does a lot for me.
Yeah,
you know?
I just so I'd only want to be Japanese if I could be a Japanese schoolgirl.
Yeah, that's it.
Because
they have the most
in
fun.
case you guys want to scroll down the page and find our K-On! Mad Cinemist episode that we just did, a Japanese schoolgirl's life looks like just the most wonderful.
It's the best
time,
unless tentacles are involved.
And then not so much.
Then it becomes real weird real quick.
Yeah. But anyways, man, sorry about that tangent, guys. Back to games.
Yeah.
Plug.
Actually, you know, that's part of the reason I wanted to do a movie that we're going to do on the Mad Cinemist, which is Harakiri: Death of a Samurai.
Yeah, absolutely.
I figured, you know, here we go. We're doing a very serious film based game soon here. I'm gonna be diving into it as soon as possible. So around the same time, hopefully, because I'm probably not gonna beat Ghost of Tsushima before I talk about it.
But will it be, do you think it'll be out? Because when is it coming out?
Next week.
Next
4 days.
Oh,
from
okay.
now.
So you'll have time to have gotten at least a good ways through.
Yeah,
I'll
I'll get a little bit into it before we do.
And you can do
Harakiri.
We can do like an impressions.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'll show you a little bit of it, and we can mess around with it. I'll get so many hours into it and talk about it, because I'm pretty sure it's a fairly open world game. I bet it will take a while to beat.
Yeah, I gotcha.
And it looks like one I'd like to dive into. So, and Harakiri is again. I said based on Kurosawa films. That seems to be the way that they're going for the direction of Ghost of Tsushima.
Right.
The Harakiri, I kept having a buddy of mine tell me it was a Kurosawa movie, and he was like, "Yeah, it's an old Kurosawa movie. It's a Kurosawa movie." It's not, and I can't remember the dude's name. I really wish I could,
Right.
but it's a different Japanese director that was at the same period as Kurosawa, that same 40s, 50s, or I guess it's mostly 50s,
Yeah.
60s period of Japanese filmmaking that produced all these amazing samurai epics. Their Western period. It was their
Absolutely.
and that's exactly what Ghost of Tsushima is trying to line up. So
Heck yeah.
Takeshi Miike making a modern version of that. 10 years ago? Is that
roughly.
about right? Yeah, about 10 years ago. Is what Harakiri: Death of a Samurai
is. Yeah.
So these thematically very much line
Isn't
up.
that a remake?
Yeah, it's a remake.
It's a
That's what I was
okay,
getting at.
yeah.
The original director though is not Kurosawa. It's this other guy.
Another guy. Yeah.
Yeah. But Takeshi Miike, I like his version better, save for one or two things.
I got you.
And we'll get into that.
We'll get into that.
Yeah.
That week.
But man, Ghost of Tsushima, it's if it's even like a little bit as cool as some Kurosawa style samurai,
Right.
then they've achieved their goal.
There you go.
Because every game that tries to go full on samurai ends up having just a little bit too much cheese in it.
Yeah. I got you.
This one looks a little bit more sincere than most. Like I love Neo, but you can't take Neo seriously.
Yeah.
It's all about Oni and
all shadows
fucking,
die twice.
Yeah, exactly. You can't take that game seriously.
It's a little too From Software.
Yeah. And the what's that? There's that Yakuza.
Oh yeah.
Is it Kenzen or Yakuza? I don't know. It's whatever it's called it's a medieval Yakuza. like a feudal era Japan Yakuza.
I don't even know if I've heard about
that.
that.
Yeah. and I mean, it looks great, but again, it's Yakuza, so you can't take it all that seriously. They're not going for that kind of tone.
Right.
This looks more like The Witcher in feudal Japan.
I gotcha.
With maybe less RPG and no magic. I haven't seen magic, so I think this is a very realistic based thing. But I mean, as far as
Anybody getting their
tone.
tits out?
You know, I don't know. Didn't see no geisha.
Didn't see no geishas.
We'll see. We'll see about it. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe we'll just have a lot of like closing doors. For
Yeah,
you,
there
know
you
what I
go.
mean?
Yeah, or the what is it? Those doors that are like paper,
Mhm.
the paper doors. That
Well, that's
are, like,
totally what I always
and
think
you
of when I
see,
think of geisha more than anything is the whole like sit down on the ground, open the door, like crawl in, bow to everybody, turn around, close the door.
Yeah,
You know, get up,
Yeah,
give you tea. You know, that kind of
That's
ritual
really
shit is
yeah.
really what and those finer details look like what they were really, distilling
Really
into
going
this
for,
game,
yeah.
man. Woo. So I'm looking forward to that. And I'm going to be playing me some Iron Man VR. Hopefully I'll have some more comments about that. I think potentially the next podcast, depending on if Carl and Trey get their asses together and beat this fucking game,
Right.
we're going to be talking about The Last of Us
Get
2.
on it,
you know?
guys! Come on.
Yeah, so I want to spend 4 or 5 minutes here just talking about it. This episode's actually ran longer than I thought.
Yeah,
we
it's
had
gonna
some
be a long
things
one.
to say, huh?
Yeah, but that's good. We've been doing shorter episodes,
Yeah.
so one long one every once in a while. That's good. It's good for you. It's good for us. It's good for the world.
Makes you feel great. So the Last of Us 2 doesn't. No, that shit steps on your balls.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
that's what we call a good segue.
I caught that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't make you feel
From
good
what
at
I've
all, man.
seen, it really, it looks, because it starts off bad.
Oh,
It
yeah.
starts off really bad, and it just seems like it would cascade into just oh no, like
Because I let you watch the very beginning cutscene, which I mean spoilers, but it's the first cutscene.
whatever.
Guys.
You played it.
Yeah, or if you didn't, then stop listening. So the it really establishes just how much of like Joel's a big deal,
Yeah.
and how much Joel cares about Ellie, but it also pretty quickly establishes in the story that
He fucked up.
he fucked up, and that Ellie knows that he fucked up,
Yeah.
and that she resents him for ruining the world, basically.
Yeah.
But that
Understandable.
yeah, totally understandable,
Yeah.
man. And what's also understandable, and I'll say this, is people's outrage for the oh man, they killed Joel.
Yeah.
They liked him. I get it,
yeah.
right? But shit sucks. I don't know if you guys have looked around. Shit sucks.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Most of the time.
Yeah. I mean, at any point in time, a random fucking, clicker could come out and just snatch his neck out.
Right.
You gotta
Exactly.
think about that, okay? Is gone, okay?
Yeah.
Because he made one wrong maneuver. I think about that all the time when you get killed in The Last of Us.
Oh, really?
I'm just like, that. See, that was just some shit that happened.
yeah.
And think about the other people in your group when that happens. They just got to go, fuck, she's dead, I got to go.
yeah. Can't
I got to
worry
deal with
about
that
it.
later.
Yeah.
Ow.
Yeah.
And that shit kind of happens a couple of times in the story. I think the game's better than people are giving it the hate. I don't really.
Well, I think it's also one of those things where it's just like anytime there's like a big new release,
You gotta hate it.
Yeah. And
I
and
hate
that's not the only voices out there. They're just the loudest.
Yeah.
Because negativity gets more views.
Yeah, it also seems like there's a lot about this game that the external politics of, director or studio or other people on the internet have caused more of the problem than the game itself.
I gotcha.
If they had just shut the fuck up and released a game, then people would have been like, well, okay, this is a little heavy-handed and this is a little weird, and wow, they murder a lot of folks.
You sure do. Boy, they sure do murder motherfuckers here.
Wow. And
Hooray for murder.
Dude, and she's just ruthless. Ellie's so fucking ruthless. Like, fucking, catching somebody up and stabbing them in the throat and being like, don't make this hard.
Oh,
You're
God.
like, oh.
Just fucking
man.
ruthless.
But I'm not going to talk about that too much. I really do want to go in
Yeah.
depth about the game with Carl and Trey. I'm just waiting on the two of them to beat the fucking game.
Right.
Because apparently I was more compelled by the story than they were. I don't know. Trey's basically been playing a lot of Final Fantasy 14, but I think Carl got a little distracted when he started playing with Abby and was like, "Man, fuck this."
Yeah, I got you.
But we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out. We'll find out next time.
Yeah, so that's going to be our next episode. Hopefully you guys can join us for that one. And then, like I said, we got a Ghost of Tsushima episode, and check us out on our other page of the Mad Cinemist. But you can find the episodes of the Occasionally Relevant Gaming Show on
Anchor
and
Spotify
and
YouTube.
That's it. I'll get this eventually.
You're good, dude. Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, for real, guys. It's been fun talking about video games again.
We're trying to do these more frequently, so hopefully it'll be maybe another week or two, and we'll catch you again.
We'll get you another one.
Yeah.
Anyways.
We'll see you next time, guys.
Bye.